Welcome on a very wet Monday. Thank y'all for being here. I want to take a step back before we move on to this week. Congrats to Adam and his staff. They did a tremendous job all last week, capitalizing on the opportunity to get national media attention, and thought they did a really good job. So I just want to start off with that. It's rivalry week, and this is the biggest game on our schedule. I don't make any ifs, ands, or buts about that. We put a lot of importance on this. The Battle of the Belt on Wednesday night on ESPN2, only football game on in all of America, and we look forward to showcasing not only our program but our community and our university in this unique setting. It's a lot of respect for Joey Jones, his staff, what they've done in a really short time with the football program there. I mean, if you look at what they've done, multiple bowl games, the attendance they've had in Lab People Stadium, having a second-round draft player chosen in the second round of the draft last year, really incredible when you just think about, I think it's a 10-year history of the program. And so a lot of respect for them. Offensively, new coordinator and Coach Owens. I thought he did a really nice job in a tough situation against Louisiana Tech. He's had a couple weeks now to get more comfortable in that role. He's got a really good offensive background. I think some of y'all know him from his time at UAB as well. His background played and then working for Bobby Petrino, who I think is one of the best offensive coaches, game planners in the country, and he's been doing it for a long time. And I think we'll see some of that type of offense when they come here on Wednesday night. The running back Xavier Johnson is a kid that's hurt us multiple years. He's a downhill runner that very seldomly does he ever go down on initial contact, and it takes more than one person to tackle him. They've got two really big receivers in Stanley and Way. They're explosive. I think they're as good-looking guys as there are in our league playing the wide receiver position, and they've got multiple tight ends that they run in and out of the game that they can give you multiple looks. Defensively, defense coordinator is Kane Womack. His father was a defensive coordinator for a long time at Ole Miss. Really a football name. He's done a really good job. This is his second year. They're very multiple. They're aggressive. A lot of man coverage. Depth at the D-line position is what's unique about them. They probably have the most depth in our league. They're coached by Brian Turner, who's a Troy grad, former Troy coach. They've got a D-tackle named Turner who's playing really at a high level. Finished the year strong last year, and then he's playing at a really high level this year. Multiple pass rushers. Really go four deep at that defensive end position. They all got really good ball get-off. They've done a good job causing pressure. Two linebackers, Sanji and Cole. And Cole was a kid that was committed to Alabama for a long time. You see signs of that. Sanji is a guy that's really aggressive. He played at a high level against us last year. The guy that sticks out to most to me is Jeremy Reeves. Man, he's playing extremely well. I got to spend some time with him at media days, and he's having a tremendous year. A guy that sticks out, playing free safety. They play him down in coverage some. He's getting his hat on a lot of tackles, playing at a really high level. Special teams wise, they've done a great job with their specialists now. Their snapper has been consistent for multiple years. Waitman is their punter. Probably has as strong a leg as anybody in our league. He handles the kickoff duties too. And then Patterson's been consistent. I think he's 9 of 11 so far. Should be a great atmosphere on Wednesday night, and our guys are looking forward to it. Last time South was here, they beat us on our home turf to get the belt in 2015. And I know our students are excited. I think it's a neat thing about this rivalry is the student government associations from both schools came together and created the idea for the Battle of the Belt. And I think it's one of the better trophies in all of college football. And I want to invite everyone to attend. Alabama's not playing. Auburn's not playing. This is the only show in town, and I hope some of the casual fans will come out and get an opportunity to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium, see how much better our game atmosphere has gotten. Again, looking forward to it, and with that, I'll answer any questions.
Coach, you talked about capitalizing on the win over LSU, getting the national attention. How was that to kind of promote your school and go on all these shows and stuff?
Well, I think it was huge for and I don't know if it was a lot of fun for me. I don't know about that, but it was good. It was good. I think for our university. I think anytime, what's unique about Troy is the size town we're in and the size campus to play football at the highest level, and for us to get the national exposure for our university over the last week. I don't know if you can put a dollar figure on that exposure that we've had.
Coach, with the exposure and everything, we talked last week about how it kind of happened last year, having the exposure and going out and losing on Thursday. Having, I guess, now this week off in between it, has that kind of settled your guys back down, kind of brought them back down to earth a little bit?
Well, I think it's a benefit, not playing this Saturday, playing on a Wednesday. I think the biggest benefit is playing our rivalry game against South Alabama. Coaching staffs are very familiar with each other. A lot of the players on both sides know each other, competed each other, played in multiple all-star games with each other. I think that's probably the biggest benefit is who we're playing, not necessarily when we're playing. And we've got a point to prove as a football program. We did not handle publicity, national attention last year. Have we matured? I think that's the challenge for our football team. Have we grown to a point where we can play multiple positive, or put multiple positive performances together?
Silvers only has 2 touchdowns. All those other numbers are better than last year. But what's it going to take to get some of these guys into the end zone?
Well, I think first of all we got to break some tackles. We got to hit some more explosive pass plays. We're not doing a good enough job hitting explosive pass plays. The other thing too is we're just running the ball better, and it's quite frankly it's easier to run the ball. There's less things that can go wrong when you run the ball down in there tight. But I don't think it's necessarily anything he's doing.
Coach, how's the at least attitude on the team since throughout the week of practice leading up? I mean, does it seem like the older guys, especially with the younger guys, are starting to get more experience, starting to figure it out a little bit more?
Well, this is what I've talked to our team about, is we put one, and I wouldn't even say it was complete, but one football game where all 3 phases played average or maybe a little better, and that was at LSU. We're sitting there 4-1, and in our other 3 wins, we did some good things, but weren't very consistent. I've talked at length about how bad we played on offense and special teams at Boise. So we've got to continue to get better. I think our best football is well out in front of us, and I think our guys are mature enough to understand that as well.
The first 2 home games have been really sluggish, weird things, 30 reviews, 180 things like that. Anything you can do to kind of maybe get the pace up a little bit?
Well, I think it's important that we do play better at home. I think we've started off strong in both those games, and really where it's gone wrong for us is in the second quarter in both the home contests. And it's been more offensively than anything, is just not having an instinct to really step on the accelerator and try to put people away. That's something we've focused on in practice really over the last 2 weeks. I thought we moved the ball better against LSU in the second quarter than we have at any point this year. Only got a field goal out of it. Some of that, as you could see with their game last week, they're still pretty sporty on defense.
I know you're a coach that likes to move on and forget the past, but Sidney Davis is a guy 16 catches in his Trojan career, maybe none of them bigger than the catch down in Mobile last year. Can you just talk about that play again and how big that was for that game?
Yeah, that was huge. He made two tremendous plays for us last year in end-of-game scenarios, the South game and then also against App State here at home. And he's just really consistent. And we've got a phrase here that we use all the time in our program, it all matters. And if you consistently do the right thing over and over and you play with good fundamentals and you do what we ask you to do and do what your coach will do, good things happen. And he's a great example of that. And I think he's sitting on a really good performance again. He's played football. He's played really good football all year. Hadn't got the ball thrown to him as much as he would probably like or I would like to this point. But I think he's going to get his opportunities in this game and moving forward.
Last year, I think Troy sent 6-8 buses down to Mobile. Any sense that their fans are going to try to do the same this year?
Yeah, I think their students are planning on traveling. I think they're bringing several buses up here. We've got to do a good job. We can't just assume, our student body can't just assume, our fan base can't just assume just because we're playing at home that we're going to create a home atmosphere. We've got to do a good job of being ready. I think we need to create a loud atmosphere. I think our game management people are continue to doing a better job each and every week. We're making this a really tough place to play. We've got to continue to do our part as a football team and put a better product on the field.
What specifically preparation this week have you guys done to make sure you come out successful?
Yeah, well, I think we got to do a good job of getting multiple hats on Xavier Johnson. I mean, he's a guy that that is a focal point for us stopping. Okay, we've got to make sure that we don't allow their big physical receivers to go downfield on us and go over top of us. Defensively, we got to be able to handle their pressure. Understanding that they're going to give us some different looks than we've probably seen all year, and make sure we're handling that. We've got to do a better job against man coverage than we've shown so far. And we've got to know where the Reeves kid is. Everything on their defense kind of funnels through him, and we've got to, especially Brandon's got to be aware of where he's at on the field.
Is this part of the season what you've been saving Chun for? Because he hasn't had too many carries really until now.
Yeah.
You kind of save him up for this back half of the season.
Well, we've got to manage him. We got to continue to manage him. The LSU game is the exception this year, where I think he had 30 carries, maybe 32 touches overall. Up until that point, we've managed him and made sure that we've kept him healthy. Another thing that we're doing is we're doing a good job managing him during the week. Sean Reagan, our running back coach, does a good job of managing him and make sure he's in condition, gets enough work but not too much work. And I think he'll tell you he feels a lot better at this point than he did a year ago. I think part of that, too, is our offensive line is doing a better job getting hats on defenders. He's not getting as many free hits at him like he did last year.
That was going to be my question earlier. From the beginning of the season to now, can you gauge the improvement of the offensive line?
They have continued to improve without question. And I think the important thing is, and I said this on one of the shows I was on last week, is offensive line. They're hardest to recruit, and they take the most time to develop. And we're sitting here in year 3, and if you look at it, we're starting a junior college transfer. He's in year 2, Stephen Rousey, who's just now starting to understand the demands of Division I football, and he's playing. His last 2 games have been his best. Okay, and I think he'll continue to play. At left guard, Kirk Kelly, red-shirted, played a little bit as a backup. Now he's a starter in year 3. Deontay Crumity was forced into action as a true freshman, wasn't ready. Last year, as a true sophomore, now in year 3, he looks like an experienced guy. Okay, and he's starting to get better, and he's playing his best football. You go over to right guard. It's a sophomore, Tristan Crowder, somebody that we played a little bit as a backup last year. And then the same thing, true sophomore at our right tackle in J.L. Gaston, who played a little bit as a freshman. Now they played multiple games in a row. Those 5 are playing the majority of the snaps. The communication's getting better. Those are the type of body types that we would like to play with. All right, they're all flexible. They're all above average athletically. And we've got to continue to not only develop those guys, but also our younger guys. And we've got some young offensive linemen that we're excited about.
Coach, one thing you said last week was that your team has got to understand they have to play better football now that you're in conference play. Has that kind of been, a big focal point over the past week?
Well, we've got to continue to get better, and here's the thing, and this will be my message when I talk to our team, is our best is the standard. We've got to continue to change that. We've got to continue to play at a better level. When you get in conference, what happens is everyone's familiar with each other. We're not necessarily going to surprise South with anything we're doing. They understand exactly what we're doing offensively, defensively, and special teams. Okay, they work just like we do. We work our conference opponents more in the offseason than we do any non-conference game, and I'm sure they do the same, and I'm sure every other conference opponent does the same. All right, and we didn't play that well down the stretch in our conference games last year. Okay, and we've changed some things. We've changed how we approach practice week in and week out. Hopefully we're going to stay healthier as we go through the year, but our main objective is to get to 2-0 in the conference. The LSU win was great. I'm proud of our guys for it. I'm excited about the publicity it brought to our university. But if we don't follow that up with playing football at a high level in our conference, it really doesn't mean anything.
Coach, it's a little off topic from the game, but you talked about the team kind of canceling out the national attention and playing up to it. How do you kind of do that as a head coach? I'm sure you've seen a lot of Power 5 schools, their fan bases are clamoring for you to become the new head coach at the end of the season for some of their schools. How did you kind of cancel that out and focus on this team?
Well, like I said, I think I talked about. I don't remember if it was on Feinbaum or what. The good thing is, it's pretty easy to stay humble when you got a 9, a 6, and a 2-year-old at home. So we're not watching Adeline had a softball game on Saturday. I saw the last 2 minutes of that Florida LSU game. So I'm not sitting there watching a bunch of college football. Definitely not listening to talk radio in the car. We usually have Kids Bop on or something like that. Disney Channel gets more play at our house than any of the ESPN shows. So I really don't hear much of it, honestly. This is what our attitude, and this is the same way that we talk to our kids about. All we want to do is be better than we were the day before, or be better than we were the last game. And whenever that is, if it's 20 years down the road, whenever my time's done here, I want it to be better, all right, than when I got here. That's it.
What's your favorite Disney Channel show?
Well, that's a good question. So I mean, the princesses are getting a lot of play. I mean, always. Let's see. Dax is Brooke. What's Dax's favorite show right now? Huh? Paw Patrol, definitely. Paw Patrol. And then what else are you into, Dax? Like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and Mickey Mouse Racers. The Racers are new. It's a new addition.
Has the family picked out their Halloween costumes yet?
Yeah, we've got Halloween costumes. We're really pushing for Max and Ruby with Dax and Ansley, but we lost out. Adeline's going to be a gymnast, which that's what she is anyway. So I'm not sure how much costume goes into that. But they do. They're excited. I keep forgetting Halloween's a couple weeks away. Time flies.
Can you sing any of the Disney songs off memory?
Not for you right now. I mean, I can, but not necessarily in this setting.
I think it's a fine setting.
Some of this stuff goes viral. I've already done one video that went viral.